Hello there guys and welcome back to the channel. So this is a video that quite a few of you asked me to make. To be honest, I wasn't going to discuss this topic in a specific dedicated video, but after the last stream it's quite clear that a lot of people are worried, and this is kind of spreading through the community as a wildfire. There's like lots of speculation and rumors going on, some accusations as well, and well, it's becoming a very big thing. And therefore, naturally, a lot of people asked me what I think of this situation, about the safety of MCOC Web Store, and pretty much everything else. So I'm going to try and put my thoughts the best I can in this video. So somebody, Simul67 basically posted this tweet. Somebody stole my credit card and made over $5,000 in fraudulent purchases. The only thing I use it for is the web store. And therefore, well, you have been warned. And well, this just went everywhere, and everybody's pretty much panicking right now, thinking that MCOC Web Store is not safe. In fact, I myself have made videos in past, especially one after talking with Blizzard25, who is a long-time moderator of the channel, and also, you know, a very adept person in regards of online security. It's his line of work. And there are vulnerabilities to MCOC Web Store and the payment systems that can be used. But those aren't like particularly outrageous. In essence, MCOC Web Store is more safe than most random online stores that you will find. That is the one thing that people, you know, don't really kind of like think about. Pretty much every time you use your card online and make a purchase, it is being put at risk. There are such things as widespread data breaches. There is like all sorts of phishing links. There's, you know, it also depends on where and how you pay for these things, who's around you and who can, you know, connect to your devices by being nearby. All of these things do exist, and effectively, when it comes to online purchasing, nothing is 100% safe. Not even, you know, your Apple and your Google purchases. Obviously, some companies are better than others, but Sola and MCOC web stores are far from the worst. I will be giving suggestions yet again at the end of the video what you can do to make your purchases online more safe, but we need to also take a look at Tim's kind of like follow-up post. I'm not going to go through all the comments. There are obviously a lot of people weighing in. Again, some of them are constructive, some of them are just wild speculation. But here is some important follow-ups from Simul himself. The credit card company is taking care of the charges. And that is number one thing. Typically, you can work with your credit card companies, or, you know, whichever company you use to make these purchases, and online nothing's like truly and forever lost, and in vast majority of the cases that I have been aware of, you can sort it out. You can reverse the purchases, you can, you know, get your money back. And something like that has happened to me as well, very long time ago though, in UK, but I ended up getting my money back as well, just, you know, being on phone with my bank. Obviously still very stressful and unpleasant, but more often than not, you can still work this out. Very likely that the issue was not actually with Xsolla, because a widespread data breach would have been huge news and affected a number of people. And then anyone suggesting that this was Kabam's fault or that they are somehow scamming me are wrong. In fact, they went above and beyond and spoke to Xsolla about it when they found out. Lastly, take precautions if you're making purchases from the web store or any online vendor, which again is a very significant and important emphasis, any online vendor. Use VPN to encrypt your traffic. That's really good. Pay with reloadable cards, as in like prepaid cards. If you have that option, that's great. Nobody can take more than you put in there, and you can, you know, put whatever amount of money you need for whatever specific purpose. Or use Apple and Google Pay, because that is safer. They are pretty much the safer options to, you know, pay online with. And so there we go. First things first, I, I'm happy that Kabam is actually, helping Simula. I think it's great that a gaming company does that, and it only speaks well for them. At the same time, I think they kind of have to, because this has the potential of, significantly affecting their earnings. It's one thing that an individual, is dealing with a $5,000 case, but this first tweet had 7K views, and there's like way more people who have heard about it right now. And if it is something that dissuades people from, using their web store or effectively making purchases for MCOC, then it will have negative impact on Kabam. So I think it's in their best interest to, be as forthcoming with what happened and try and help Simula out, which they seem to be doing, which is good. Very great for them. That said, I think at this point, this has become big enough for Kabam to actually have to make an announcement, an official comment that I haven't heard about. Very good that they're helping Simula, kind of like, in private and behind the public view. And it's obviously good that Simula mentioned the fact that Kabam was helping him. But I think this is big enough now and significant enough for Kabam to have a need to address it, like, either by in-game message or on forums or in, whatever way that reaches most of their players, just to reassure them. Ideally, also explain what happened, more or less, when they do find it out. And last bit that we definitely need to, again, reiterate and discuss is number one, it's spreading wild rumors. Don't do that. I have heard some people throwing other content creators' names around as if it's something they did on purpose because they were like beefing with Simula. And like, never true. It isn't. And what's more so, there's just no need for it. If something like that comes out, then we can discuss it after the fact. Wildly speculating and creating, like reigniting beefs and creating some sort of animosity, don't think that's needed at all. But, things like that happen. So, my advice is take everything you hear with a grain of salt, especially if it's not coming from a first-hand source of information. If you want to know what happened, follow Simula on Twitter, check out his tweets. Maybe Kabam's gonna address it, but take everything else you hear from anybody and everybody with a grain of salt. I would say even from videos such as this, I don't know everything. No, I can only speak on what I think. How the situation is unfolding and what information I have in front of me. Next, perhaps most importantly, do make sure that you do take precautions when you're shopping online. Not just in MCOC, but in general everywhere. There are tons of different ways how you can protect yourself. Simula here suggested some very, very good ones. Like VPN is making things a lot harder for many people. Prepaid cards effectively is kind of a roadblock because, again, even if something does happen and they get to your preloadable prepaid card, there's just not going to be anything in there for them to take. So, if it's possible at all, it's very good to have like an alternate kind of like method of payment for online shopping where you can, add in money as and when you need it. It's not connected to your, main savings or main cards or credit cards and stuff like that. And lastly, yeah, what he said, if possible at all, try to use Apple or Google Pay. Those are the safer payment options as far as I am aware, anyways. And it's not just that they are safer, also the fact that they do have some of the best customer support available, and they're massive companies. And it is more likely that even if something happens, you will be able to sort out, your account and get your money back with more stable, with bigger, more experienced companies that do have the systems in place to deal with these things. And that is pretty much all. Please do not spread wild rumors. Again, it doesn't seem that there's anything in particular directly wrong with WebStore or Kabam for that matter. And they still haven't gotten to the very bottom of it. If you ask me, do I think WebStore is, not safe to use? I don't think it's any more than virtually any other online, vendor. Anything, it's probably on the more decent, more safe side. But it's also up to each and every single one of you to keep yourselves, as protected as you can be. That said, let me know what you guys think, and I am going to catch you guys soon. Bye-bye. Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we have all the information about the